China's government is working hard to become more powerful than the United States, aiming to be the top leader in the world. They're doing this by using a big and complex spy network. Their goal is to get their hands on the newest and best technology and secrets about how to do things, especially in areas that are very important for keeping the country safe and doing well in business. These areas include things like making airplanes and other aerospace stuff. A story that shows just how far China is willing to go involves Xu Yanjun, who worked for China's Ministry of State Security, which is kind of like their spy agency. Xu's job was to secretly get important tech information from big American companies, and one of the biggest targets was General Electric. GE was making a new kind of jet engine called the GE9X that used less fuel and had parts made out of special materials that nobody else was using. This engine was a big step forward in making airplanes, so of course it was something China was very interested in. The whole thing started when David Zhang, an engineer at GE, got an invitation from a university in Nanjing, China. It looked like a chance for him to get some recognition for his work, but it was actually part of a carefully planned trick by China to get him to help them without realizing it. What followed was like something out of a spy movie, with fake names, secret meetings, and all the sneaky stuff spies do, which is called tradecraft. Xu pretended to be someone named Ku Wei and used these spy tricks to get close to Zhang. He made Zhang feel important and offered him trips to China, pretending it was all about sharing knowledge and learning. But what Xu really wanted was to find out about the secret tech GE was using in their jet engines. The United States didn't just sit back and let this happen. They fought back with their own spies, watching what was going on and using the law to catch and punish the spies. The story talks about how US lawyers Tim Mangan and Emily Glatfelter managed to take Xu to court and win, which doesn't happen often in these spy cases. Their success showed how serious and smart China's spying is, but it also showed that American companies and schools need to be careful to protect their secrets. The story took an exciting twist when the FBI, with help from Zhang, set up a clever trick to catch Xu. They used a strategy where they pretended to be on Xu's side to trap him. This smart move led to Xu being caught in Brussels. This moment was a big deal because it showed how dangerous and serious spying between countries can be. When Xu was put on trial and found guilty, it helped everyone understand how spying can affect a country's safety, its success in business, and who has the most power in the world. As the story unfolds, we see a lot about how countries compete with each other in technology, how important it is for them to be proud of their country, and the tricky questions about what's right and wrong in spying and trying to outsmart other countries. The story of Xu Yanjun, along with the bigger competition between the US and China over technology and business, is like a warning. It shows how the peace and stability of the whole world can be at risk when countries are too focused on beating each other and getting more power. In Europe, there has been a noticeable increase in activities aimed at stopping Russian spies, showing a shift in how countries on the continent are dealing with espionage. Countries in the Scandinavian region are taking a more active stance against spying activities. For example, there was a significant incident in Sweden where a couple was caught in an elaborate operation with military helicopters for supposedly giving away secret information to Russia's military intelligence agency, the GRU. In a separate significant event, Norway detained an individual thought to be a GRU officer who had sneaked into the academic sector using a fake identity. These events highlight a trend towards more direct and open actions against spying efforts, with nations like Estonia being at the forefront of legally punishing those involved in government-supported spying, mainly targeting Russia, but also focusing on threats from China. The case of Kim Philby, a high-ranking official in Britain's MI6 who secretly worked for the Soviets, serves as a stark example of the deep betrayals possible within the world of intelligence. Philby's secret work caused considerable harm to Britain's intelligence operations, and the negative impact of his betrayal was felt for a long time. Another fascinating story is about deep undercover Russian spies in both the UK and the US, known as illegals. These spies lived under assumed identities to penetrate and disrupt democratic systems. They managed to secure important positions in the government, showcasing the extensive planning and patience behind Russian spying efforts. Maxwell Knight, a noted British intelligence officer, is famous for his unique methods in counter-espionage. One of his notable strategies included using female spies, who were often overlooked by those they were spying on, to infiltrate communist groups in the UK. His work led to major successes in gathering intelligence, such as uncovering the Woolwich Arsenal spy ring. Stella Rimington's journey to becoming the first woman to lead MI5 provides an intimate look into the espionage world and how intelligence operations have evolved over time, particularly from the perspective of a woman in the field. Her experiences shed light on both the challenges and the changes in espionage, underlining the evolving nature of intelligence work and the role of women within it. This story makes us think about where the world is heading in terms of how countries deal with each other, whether spying is okay, and how important it is to compete in a fair way that respects rules and what's right. The dramatic story of catching and bringing Xu Yanjun to justice is not just about a win for the US's efforts to stop spying. It also points out the constant battle in the world of spying, where having the best technology and information is like having gold. Spying has been a way for countries to try to get ahead for a long time. It's about trying to find out secrets in technology, science, and business so they can make better plans, invest in the right places, and have a stronger position in the world. There are many ways to spy, each with its own techniques and goals. Human intelligence is when people are used to collect information. Signals intelligence is about gathering and studying electronic messages. Cyber espionage is a newer method that takes advantage of internet weaknesses to get important information, and covert operations are secret actions that can include sabotage or influencing politics in other countries. These spying methods show the lengths countries will go to in order to stay ahead or catch up with others. Whether it's through people, electronic spying, hacking into computer systems, or secret missions, the goal is the same: to get valuable information that can give a country an edge. This ongoing game of cat and mouse not only tests the skills and cleverness of those involved, but also raises big questions about what's fair in the pursuit of national interests and how these actions shape the relationships between countries on the global stage. Spying is a tricky topic because there aren't a lot of worldwide rules that say exactly how it should be done. Many countries think spying is important for keeping their nation safe. But it's also important to make sure spying is done right, so it doesn't hurt people's rights. That's why some countries that like to make sure everyone plays fair have set up rules to watch over their spy agencies. Spying isn't just about keeping a country safe, it also helps countries talk to each other better. When countries know more, they can make smarter choices in talks, get a better deal, and avoid problems. Lately, there's been a big change because countries are attacking each other on the internet. These cyber attacks are happening more often and are getting really smart. They can mess up important systems and can cause big problems for a country's safety and how the world's money system works. Some of the big names in these cyber tricks are countries like China, Russia, North Korea, and Iran. They have a lot of skills in cyber stuff. China, for one, is really good at cyber attacks that could break important services in the United States. This shows why countries need to work together, have strong protection on the internet, and come up with new ideas to stop these attacks. When someone takes an idea or invention without permission, it can hurt a country's money-making and new inventions. Stealing secrets to get ahead in business is another big problem. There have been a lot of times when people from China were caught taking secrets. For example, Chinese hackers took a lot of important information from American companies and government places, including stuff about the US Navy. There was also a big deal when a teacher from Harvard and 2 people from China were caught trying to steal science secrets for China. This was part of China's big plan to get the best technology. Cyber spying, with a lot of attention on hackers from China, has grown into a big and complex problem for the safety of computers and networks around the world. These hackers, supported by the Chinese government, aim at a wide range of industries. This includes areas like nuclear energy, metal production, solar technology, and even groups that represent workers, all to get a business edge. A clear example of this issue is when the US Department of Justice took legal action against 5 hackers from the Chinese military. They were accused of stealing information from American companies, showing that the Chinese government is directly involved in such spying efforts. The problem of cyber spying by China is huge, covering both military secrets and business innovations. There have been several attempts to steal details about American government agencies, politicians, and more. Since the year 2000, those caught in these spying efforts have included Chinese soldiers, ordinary citizens, and sometimes even people from other countries. They have gone after a range of targets like advanced military technology, business trade secrets, and information from government agencies. A big example of their activities was when they broke into the U.S. Office of Personnel Management Systems and stole the personal information of millions of people working for the federal government. Moreover, during a recent health crisis, 2 hackers, believed to be working for the Chinese government, attacked companies that were trying to develop vaccines. They aimed to steal valuable research and business information, showing China's interest in both political and economic spying. The Chinese government takes cybersecurity and spying very seriously, making it a key part of their national policy. They place the highest priority on state security, keeping a strict watch over the country's cybersecurity efforts and the people working in this area. Chinese cybersecurity experts are not allowed to go to international hacking conferences without permission from the government, and they must report any security weaknesses they find to the government first. This approach gives the Chinese authorities an early look at possible security issues that they might use in their cyber attacks. Recognizing the value of cyber skills, China's leaders have put a lot of resources into getting better at this. They want China to be a leading force in cyberspace, using their spying capabilities to support their political and economic goals on the world stage. The country has managed to create a huge system for cyber espionage, known for its ability to carry out large-scale and successful spying operations all over the globe. Yan Junshu's story is a big deal because he was a high-up spy for China and got caught trying to steal secrets from American airplane makers. He pretended to be other people and tricked workers into coming to China to get their company's secrets for the Chinese government. This was a clear case of China trying to get ahead by taking secrets from other countries. Xu's actions show how China is working hard to get better technology from around the world, focusing on areas where they want to catch up or get ahead. This kind of spying is very organized and shows how China's government and businesses work together to get new technology. The ways spies used to work, like the methods Xu used, usually involved talking to people and convincing them to share secrets. They had to meet in person to get this information. But now, with the internet and computers, spying has changed a lot. Spies can now steal lots of information from far away without ever having to show up. This new way of spying is much more powerful because they can grab a lot of data very quickly. Xu showed how old-school spying and new digital spying can be mixed together. He used to talk to people to get secrets, but also used computer tricks like breaking into computers or putting bad software on them to get the information he wanted. By using both these old and new ways, Xu made his spying work really well. He could use the best parts of both methods to reach his goals. Xu Yanjun's story is a big deal in the world of spying today. He worked for the Chinese government and put together a big plan to steal secrets from American airplane companies for China. Starting around December 2013, Xu used fake names, made-up organizations, and schools as covers to get close to people working in aviation and ask them for their secret work details. He would invite them to China, pretending they were coming for school talks, and then he and his team would pay them and take care of their trip costs. They did all this while working closely with Chinese airplane companies and their spy agency. In April 2018, Xu's plan fell apart when he went to Belgium to meet an American airplane company worker who was actually helping the FBI. This meeting led to Xu being the first Chinese spy to be sent to the US to face trial. In November 2021, he was found guilty of stealing company secrets and spying, which resulted in a 20-year jail sentence. This case shows how directly the Chinese government gets involved in stealing secrets from other countries to help its own industries and military grow stronger. China has big plans to become the top power in the world, and spying is a big part of how they try to get there. The case of Xu Yanjun shows how China is trying to get ahead, especially in technology and business, by stealing secrets from other countries. By going after American airplane technology, Xu's spying was just one part of China's larger effort to be the best in important global industries by not playing fair. Xu's way of spying was really smart and used a lot of different tricks. He pretended to be other people and set up fake companies to trick others into giving away top-secret tech information. This shows just how clever and wide-ranging China's efforts are to get their hands on the latest technology and ideas from other places to help them grow and become more modern. When Xu was caught and given a big punishment, it was a clear message from the United States to other countries. Spying on the US is a serious crime with serious consequences. This was the US's way of saying they're very serious about keeping their economic and safety interests safe from spies. The whole situation with Shu also puts a spotlight on how much China is trying to take American tech secrets to help its own economy grow and make its military stronger. Talking about Shu and the bigger picture of Chinese spying helps us understand the complex world of international spying today. It shows us how countries use smart and complicated ways to sneakily find out secrets from their rivals to make themselves stronger in technology, economy, and military power. The story of how Shu sneakily got trade secrets from American airplane companies and then got caught is a perfect example of the secret battles that happen between the world's biggest powers. As spying increasingly moves online, agencies like the FBI are working harder than ever to protect the US's most important secrets and stop foreign spies. They're coming up with new plans and teams to stop the theft of US tech secrets, showing that fighting spying needs a lot of different strategies and teamwork. To protect against spies, it's important for all parts of the government and businesses to work together. They need to constantly check for risks, follow good computer safety habits, keep a close watch for sneaky activities, and have strong plans in place to stop spies. This teamwork is key to keeping important buildings and information safe. In a story that seems like it's straight out of a spy book, the FBI made a big move in New York City. They shut down a secret Chinese police station hidden above a noodle shop in the busy area of Chinatown in Manhattan. This happened right after they arrested 2 people they thought were working for it. This was a big deal in the US's fight against China's sneaky operations here. But closing this place is just a small part of dealing with a much bigger problem. A group that watches over human rights, based in Madrid, has found out that there are many more of these illegal places all over the US. These secret police stations have been popping up not just in New York, but all over the place, including big cities like Los Angeles and San Francisco, as well as in the quieter spots of Nebraska and Minnesota. They pretend to be overseas service stations, but their real job is pretty scary. They keep an eye on Chinese people living all around the world, especially those who disagree with the Chinese government and have moved to the United States looking for safety. The group Safeguard Defenders has been working hard to uncover these secretive operations. They've found 8 of these stations in the US, and they're all connected back to China's government, specifically to the parts of the government that deal with public safety and keeping an eye on Chinese people living abroad. These stations are sneaky, often hiding behind groups that say they're there to help the community, but they're really there to help the Chinese government keep control over people, even far from China's borders. When the US found out about these places, they acted fast. 2 people, Harry Lu Jianwang and Chen Jinping, were arrested for setting up one of these stations in New York's East Broadway. They tried to close it down when they found out the US was investigating, but it was too late. Their arrest has shown everyone just how deep and wide China's network for watching people is, even in the US. This whole situation has really shown how bold China is in trying to watch what Chinese people are doing in other countries, including the US. It's made a lot of people angry and worried, leading to big discussions about how to keep the country safe from this kind of secret watching. In response to how serious this all is, over 30 people who were part of a special Chinese police group have been charged with crimes in the US for doing things they shouldn't have. This group, which worked out of a building in Beijing, was trying to control what people say and think about China, even outside of China. The US's strong reaction to finding out about a secret Chinese police station in New York shows how determined the US is to stand up to this kind of secret interference from other countries. The closing of the police station in Chinatown is a big reminder of the ongoing fight against spying and the need to always be on the lookout to protect the country's freedom and safety. This is a wake-up call for countries all over the world to work together to stop these sneaky moves by governments that don't play by the rules. As the US continues to uncover and stop these operations by the Chinese government, it's a clear message that the US will do whatever it takes to keep its people safe and support the values of freedom and democracy.